Welcome back. Now in this video we're going to look at how to delete a category from our nav bar. So right now you can see in our table we have these two extra ones we've added using the web form we created last time with add new category. So today we're going to add something that enables us to delete those categories. And if I can find, sorry, just bring this up. The 3 pages we're going to create are the one where we select the category we want to delete. We definitely want to confirm that first, and then obviously the delete category page. So in Notepad, just on our admin panel, the first thing we want to do is just add a link to our delete page. So it's, remember, we're still on that single page format, so we're still going to index page, but this time we're setting the page to delete category. Now I'm actually going to call this one delete category select, because that's what's going to be happening on that page. We're going to be selecting the category to delete. So there we go. I'll just save that. And before I go any further, just double check in my admin panel. There it is there, delete category. So we're going to need to create a page for doing this. Now rather than hand coding everything from the beginning again, I'm just going to open up one of those 3 pages we worked on last time. We were adding the categories, so I'm just going to grab the add category page, and I'm just going to save that as delete category select, except that I can't spell. Delete category select, there we go, and it's a PHP page. Okay, so just looking at what needs to happen, obviously we're connecting to the database to enable us to run a query that will get all the categories. We also need to have this little bit of code that checks whether or not the user is actually logged in, because we don't want anyone accessing this page unless they are the administrator. So then we don't need this stuff here, so I'm going to remove that. Okay, so now let's just change some of this content. So we're going to delete category. Now this time we don't need a form, so I'm actually going to remove the form as well. And so what we're going to do is we're going to run a query that returns all the categories. So it should be fairly easy now, but I'm just going to call this delcat for delete category, and that's my prefix. The suffix, I'm just going to follow the same pattern. This is the SQL itself. So select everything from category. My next line, same prefix, delcat. Let's go query, and remember MySQLi query to run it. There are 2 parameters. The first one is our DB connect, which is the database connection information, and the next one is the actual query itself, which is on the line above that, delcat. There we are there. And finally, I do need to organize this into an associative array. Oops, MySQLi. And the thing that I'm organizing is that query information from above. So that's going to select everything, and then what I want to do is I'm just going to display them all in a do while loop. And the condition there is just this little line here. I'll just copy that. So that will run through and this loop as many times as there are categories in the category table. Now I'm going to display them on the page as dynamic links. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn PHP off briefly while I put in the HTML to format that. So I'll put them in paragraphs there, and then there'll be a link that's going to go to the delete category confirm page. And it occurs to me that this needs to go to the index page, and we're going to use the get method to send it through to there. Close the link, close the paragraph. Now the thing that is going to be the link is going to be the name of the category. So from the delcat record set there, I'm just going to put the name in. That's the name of the category, and again that comes from our table name. That's the column we're referring to. The other thing as well though is we do need to send another bit of information through the get method, and that is the the actual category ID of the category we're going to be deleting. So I'm just going to, after the delete category confirm part of the URL there, I'm just going to put and category ID equals, and then we're just going to, in PHP there, just echo out from that del cat record set the category ID. Okay, so it looks a bit like that. Alright, now hopefully that has done it. So what that should do, all going well, is we'll delete, it will provide us a list of dynamic links of each category. So we'll head in here, if I click on delete category, there they are there. So I can just choose the one I want to delete, and when I go click on one, notice it takes me through, and obviously this page doesn't exist yet, it's going to take me through to the delete category confirm page, and you can see it's taken the ID of the page that I am wishing, or the category I'm wishing to delete. So, excuse me, the next thing to do, I guess, is to create that delete category confirm page. So I'm just going to actually save this page as delete category confirm. So just saves me redoing all that code at the top of each page. And I'll just put confirm category. Always nice to change the text. Confirm category to delete. Now, again, we're going to need to run another query, but this time we don't want all the categories. We just want the one where the category ID equals, and then after speech marks, just concatenate on the category ID that has been sent through the get method. So it's going to sit in that get array. And again, if I just go back to our browser, when I clicked on this, it should go and get this bit of information here, and it will grab that number and put it at the end of that query. And then, so instead of a do while loop, which we no longer need, because there's only going to be one thing there, we can just echo something along the lines of, do you really wish to delete, and then we can concatenate on the name of that category. In fact, we should probably put a question mark in there, shouldn't we? Something along those lines there. So let's just test that and see what happens. Do you really wish to delete test? Do you really wish to delete new cat? Great, so that's working. So what we need really then is a confirm and a no. So I'm just going to first of all put this in a paragraph. So I'll just turn off the PHP long enough to put a paragraph tag around it. Oops, bring it up. And then I'll just close the paragraph tag afterwards. And then in the next paragraph we want to have our links. So the first one will be yes, delete it. And my other one might be no, go back. And we probably need a back to admin panel link as well. So there's three options at the bottom there. Now the yes, delete it, that is going to go to, turn this into a link with an A tag. The page we're going to go to obviously is still index.php, and in the get array we're going to send page equals, and we want to just call that one delete category. So close that link down right there. The no go back will just go back to the delete select. So again, index.php, and the page that we're going to is delete category select. Nice long name. Close that link down, and the back to admin panel. So I'll just scroll across. Back to admin panel is going to take us back to the index page, but page equals admin. And we'll shut that link down. Okay, so there's our three links. So just quickly double check that that works. Click on new cat, and then we have three things. So if I say no go back, it takes me back to here. If I say back to admin panel, it takes me all the way back. And if I said yes, delete it, obviously this page does not yet exist. So that's the third page to create now, is the delete category page. So once again, I'm just going to go ahead and save as, and I'm just going to call this one delete category. We still need all the stuff at the top. The header's now just going to say category deleted, and we're going to need to run. Oh, actually, let's get rid of everything there. So I'll just put a little message that says category has successfully been deleted, and then we'll just have a link saying return to admin panel. So get that right, and that needs to be a link, so I'll just turn that into a link. Go into the index page, but we want to go to include the admin part in the content area. Right, so there we go. That's not doing it yet. At the top here, in this delete category page, what we're going to do is run the delete category query. So delcat SQL. So again, delcat is going to be my prefix. I want to delete from the category table where category ID equals something, and then we're going to run that query. And the query, remember there are two parameters, dbconnect and the query from the line above. Now, how does it know what category to delete? So if I just open up my delete category confirm page, you notice that in here we knew which category to select because it was in the get array. Similarly, when we say yes delete it, we actually need to just add another thing onto there, another item into the get array. And so I'm going to, after delete category, I'm just going to put and category ID equals, and that's where we're going to use PHP just to echo out that category ID in the get array. So echo $get category ID, like so. So that should take the category ID through to the next page, and that means now on our delete category page we can say where category ID equals, and then concatenate on the category ID. Again, that's from our get array. So let's test this and see if it works. So I'll just head back here. If I want to get rid of new test, do I really want to delete test? Yes, I do. And it says it's been deleted, so if I go back to the admin panel, you can see it's gone. If I check my database, it's gone. Fantastic. So we've got it working. However, there is one little issue which we should be aware of here. If I wanted to delete, say, pants, if I delete that, it's going to cause some issues in our database, because you can see, for example, pants has a category ID of 3. If I go into my stock table, you'll notice there's quite a few items in here, there they are there, that have, well, 2 items, that have a category ID of 3. And if I delete pants, these 2 items are not going to be associated with anything. So I think it's quite important that we have a warning on this confirm page that actually tells us if there are any stock items associated with that category, and if the person proceeds with deleting it, we then would remove all those items. Yeah. So what we'll do in our code here, on the confirm page, what we need to do, you can see we're selecting from category. What we're also going to do is run a query that will get all, or just count the number of items in that category. So I'm also going to run another query here. So just clear a few lines. I'll just comment this one in for a change. Check if there are any stock items in this category. So I'm just going to call this one check, and we're just going to select everything from the stock table where the category ID is equal to, and again we're just going to get that out of the get array there. Right, so we're just going to run that query with MySQL query, and remember dbconnect, and then the query on the line above, which is check SQL. And what we want to do is just go, I'll call it count, a new variable called count, and I'm just going to say that's equal to the number of rows, and MySQL num rows in check query. Right. So that's giving us a variable here. Now that should hopefully be a number from 0 upwards. So in here where it says do you wish to delete yada yada, that's great, we'll still have that. But what we should also do in the line above that is actually say something along the lines of warn them if count is greater than 0. So we'll say if count is greater than 0, then we're going to do this following stuff. And better close that paragraph tag there before I forget. So if count is greater than 0, we're just going to echo warning there are, and then I'll just stop the echo for a second and concatenate on the word count, or the number count. Stop items in this category. If you delete the category, they will also be removed from the database. Alright, and then that ends there. Okay, so that will come up and just warn us. So we'll save that and just double check it. So if I go to pants, warning there are 3 stock items in this category. If I go to skirts, there are 4, and you can see at least the user is getting a warning. And obviously because it's a warning, you may want to color code it up and make it look a bit more alarming. So the last thing then is on the delete category page, not only are we deleting everything from the category table, we're also going to delete everything from the stock table. So I'm going to call it del stock underscore SQL, and again we want to delete from the stock table where category ID equals get category ID. So that will then remove all the items on that page. So del stock query will run it for us. So MySQL li query dbconnect, and I keep putting del cat, that should be del stock SQL from the line above. Okay, so that should now remove any stock if there is any stock. So if there isn't any, it just won't do anything. Okay, so one way to test that is from here. Now remember, if you do remove all the stuff, you can always just reload the content from the SQL files that are provided, and there's a link below the YouTube video on where to go and get all the files. And remember, there is an SQL file there that you can just run. You can import it into your database and it will recreate all the items in there. So I'm just going to remove all the pants. So if I say yes, there we go. So pants is gone. If I go to my database, you can see I used to have item 9 and 10 there. So if I rebrowse my stock, you can see all the items with the category ID of 3 are now gone. So we now successfully are able to add and delete categories from our database. So I will see you next time.